Ladies and gentlemen, it is February 13, 2014. You're listening to FAWMtalk. I'm Ianuarius. With me, the always gentle, very gentle man, TC Elliott. How are you doing, guy?
I'm doing well, very well this morning. Ready for a great FAWM talk.
Sweet. And we're almost halfway there. Interestingly, I thought yesterday I actually found my inspiration again. So I'm making songs.
All we had to do was berate you and make you feel guilty, and there you were.
Absolutely, that's how Finnish people work. And, well, actually I was just lying on the couch and contemplating on my future. And I had the idea that I might be starting my studies again, going out there, learning a thing or two about computers and programming, stuff like that. And the way I work is I really don't like divide my schedule. I don't do a little bit of programming, a little bit of music. I just don't function that way. It's all or nothing with everything. So I'm thinking if I'm gonna start a game development or something like that, I'm gonna concentrate on that. I'm gonna leave music to others.
Right.
And so
Well,
I got to thinking, if I'm gonna really take a leave from music, have I really given it everything I got? And I really haven't. I've been holding back, so to speak. I haven't really put my all to it. I mean, it's been. I like to think I've spent my time a lot with music, but it's been more of a hobby. Even then, I haven't been doing much gaming stuff or whatever else interest I have. But I haven't taken music that seriously. I've been wasting a lot of time. So I thought, okay, well, would I be satisfied if I did like a proper album? Not just write it, but practice the songs and really put my everything to recording it and producing it, and maybe trying to get it to some recording companies and what have you. And I think, well, yeah, if I do that, then I can safely say I've done everything I can with music. And then if that doesn't pan out, I can concentrate on the game development stuff. And so
right.
I have a ton of heavy metal songs, and those seem to be the ones I excel in my opinion. And I thought, well, okay, I have a lot of them. I have like 7 or 8 of the kind of songs that I really like that could go to an album. But I thought, well, let's make a couple of more so we have like songs to choose from. And I immediately thought, well, I've done 2 songs already. I have one of the sort of prog song in the makings. So I thought, well, I'm gonna make 10 heavy metal songs, and then leave just one spot open there to do whatever I feel like at the end. But I immediately opened Notepad, wrote down 10 song titles that I was really happy with, and then started recording guitars. I've already recorded guitars to 3 songs, and I was just recording the 4th one as we started the cast.
wow, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
So I kind of found my inspiration through that.
Yeah, that's really interesting. An interesting take on how you, like you said, you do everything. You put your all into either music, or if you're going to go into computers or to game design. That's really interesting to me. And then when you just when you made up your mind, I'm going to do this, then you're attacking it wholeheartedly, and that's really interesting. I think I don't know that I could be that focused all at once. So that really is interesting to me, to how you're approaching. And I'm glad to hear you're doing music. That's cool.
Yeah, it's weird, sort of. I feel like if I'm not giving it my all, I'm like wasting everyone's time. I don't want to do stuff half-heartedly, and it just never results in anything good. If I spend my time on something, I want it to result in something good. That's my reasoning.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We got a lot of good things queued up here, so let's play some good music. Why don't we? We got one song by Tgimb1, so that's Tgimb1 to you. So the song's called Ramblin' Sammy.
Ramblin' Sammy loves to drive in his beat-tattered car. Has to drive it every day, drive it near and far. Ramblin' Sammy, watch the dash, what does that mileage show? Drive all through Pennsylvania, where Pennsylvanians go. Did he give a care? Did he do and when? No one likes to drive as much as Ramblin' Sammy Sam. Vroom, vroom, at the wheel, pumpy, pumpy thump. He stops for mainly one thing, that's a gasoline pump. Ramblin' Sammy driving hard on a road somewhere, clutching at the wheel and driving like he's on a tear. Ramblin' Sammy plows through snow, streaks across the ice, driving every season, just his quintessential vice. Did he give a care? Did he do and wham? No one likes to drive as much as Ramblin' Sammy Sam. Vroom, vroom, at the wheel, pumpy, pumpy thump. Stops for mainly one thing, that's a gasoline pump. Ramblin' Sammy really, really doesn't like to stop, but he may pause a while in any coffee shop. Ramblin' Sammy pays too much when tuning his car up, doesn't watch his money when it's time to fill her up. Did he give a care? Did he do and wham? No one likes to drive as much as Ramblin' Sammy Sam. Vroom, vroom, at the wheel, pumpy, pumpy thump. Stops for mainly one thing, that's a gasoline pump. Ramblin' Sammy doesn't stay too long at his home. Out the door he'd rather go, talking on the phone. Ramblin' Sammy's family tells him, come home, have a rest. But he won't listen to his kin, Sammy knows what's best. Did he give a care? Did he do and wham? No one likes to drive as much as Ramblin' Sammy Sam. Vroom, vroom, at the wheel, pumpy, pumpy thump. Stops for mainly one thing, that's a gasoline pump. Stops for mainly one thing, and that's a gasoline pump.
Ramblin' Sammy by Tgimb1. People were complaining that there were some more audio problems, but now it seems to be okay.
Cool.
So
That's good to hear.
let's move on. Yeah.
Okay.
And also, Woody, you're telling me that my monologue sounded a bit discouraged. Why would you say that? You have any idea, TC? Did it sound discouraged to you?
No. I thought it was pretty cool that you're back into the game of FAWM. But I think the idea of one last stand and then I'm moving on is kind of it's not exactly the most uplifting thing you hear from somebody you like hearing music from. So I could see that point of view for sure.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the music thing hasn't really gone anywhere. And I dropped out of school or university from, it was 2007, I think. I dropped out of school, 2007 autumn. And it's been like 6 years now, over 6 years. And I've played in about 20 bands in that time. I've done like 70 songs, maybe more, 80, and it just never goes anywhere. I've uploaded all my songs to like YouTube. I've throw links out in all forums, and it nobody cares. That's the thing. If you just have some music and hey, why didn't you listen to my songs? And people are like, yeah, whatever. So I can understand that. And with music, it's always like, well, even if you try to sell it, people say, well, let me listen it for free. Because who wants to pay for music? I've got Spotify with like 50,000 songs loaded up there, and why would I wouldn't want to pay for music, so why should I expect others to pay for it? So that's and really, if I see someone like advertising their own songs on some forums, I don't want to listen to it. I got my own music playing. I've got my own things I want to concentrate on. You got a song up, cool, have fun with that, but don't bother me with your song. So that's the thing. It's really hard to get going with music. So I'm basically what I'm saying. I'm not gonna waste my time with it anymore. I think there are other things that I can influence others better with my game development skills.
Gotcha. Well, and that's important. You've got to do what you've got to do. That makes sense. I mean, that's right there. But you do realize we're in a songwriting challenge where everybody's focusing on music, and you're talking about not writing songs anymore. I mean, that's a little incongruous, but I understand it, and of course, all of your very close friends here in Radioland will support you wholeheartedly. So,
yeah, that's really sweet. I don't know. I guess I understand it's discouraging hearing it in a songwriting contest or challenge.
Well, it's not. I wouldn't say discouraging, but it's a little, I don't know, sad or just. It's just different. It's not what you expect. Usually when people are songwriting, it's like, okay, this is the month where it's songwriting, and we have somebody saying, I'm going to write some songs, and then I'm not going to write any more because I'm doing something else. It's like, that's not what we hear. That's not what we want to hear. But that's good for you. So that's, hey, we're good with that. So.
Yeah, I should probably keep this to myself. The thing is, I am writing more songs, so I'm gonna like pump these babies out. They're gonna be up next week, probably.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to hearing.
Yeah. Okay, what else we got here? We got some electronic music again, which is fantastic because I love electronic music. We get Heuristics Inc. And the song is called... what is it called? It's actually Parasite Kiss.
you're gonna be suspended, starting when you're tempted to be tuning out the sirens, siding with the tyrants, tired of deflation, tired of frustration. Make it up, make it up, make it all up. Make it up, make it up, make it all up. Running out of lucky strikes, firing on appetite, craving another bite. Bedbugs kiss goodnight underneath the bed sheet, ready to concede defeat. Make it up, make it up, make it all up. Make it up, make it up, make it all up. Visions of paradise, swollen with parasites, swimming in your bloodstream. Nothing but a dry dream, curing in the sunlight. You would rather switch than fight. Make it up, make it up, make it all up. Make it up, make it up, make it all up. Make it up, make it up, make it all up. Make it up, make it up, make it all up.
Parasite Kiss by Heuristics Incorporated. Sweet song, really dark.
Yeah.
That's how I like my electronic music. I don't know,
Yeah.
the songs are...
You've mentioned that before, and I now that I think about it, I kind of tend to agree. So.
Oh, there's a certain something in dark electronic music. It's giving you that. Electronic in a sense, to me, it goes to that sort of futuristic feel, and I don't know if from a storytelling point of view, like really bright future. It's not something we tend to think about. It's always things like World War III and World War there, and then there are like Matrix and other sort of sci-fi stories that they're always like dark stories with very dark twists, and it's never like everything's gonna be peachy and
right. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. A lot of times I think of stories with artificial intelligence or with the machines taking over, or Terminator type of stories, or there's a lot of things through it. But I try to, when I listen to electronic music, it's mainly on FAWM and 5090 anyway, and so I try to really keep an open mind. And that and ambient music a lot, I try to say, okay, what do I feel or what do I picture with this? And sometimes it's different. I do get different things, but a lot of times it is more industrial type of themes or future types of themes or sci-fi types of things. It's definitely not the fantasy aspect with the swords and the sorcery. It's more on the harsher or more industrial type of themes. And it's interesting when you get one that kind of pulls me out of there where I can think of dark without really going into that area. Makes a big difference too. So,
I think it's the same with movies, like we were talking about Terminator and Matrix. And you watch those movies, and they give you like fantastic ideas, and you can kind of touch on the topic and atmosphere without having to really dwell on it.
Right. You don't have to be blatant with it. You can be a little more subtle and still get a good viewpoint or perspective through the music, especially with the electronic music. I think is a good way to start with that. it focused. I don't do electronic music hardly at all. The few times I've tried, it's been just start and play with sounds and go with it. And what I find is if I actually try to hit a perspective or an idea and try to relate that through music, it works so much better. And that's true with most music, I think. But
yeah. Well, about happy electronic music, I think a lot of game soundtracks that use the sort of electronic type of sounds are really, really positive, upbeat. I was just listening what was it called? It was like puzzle platformer, something like that. That soundtrack is like really upbeat, and I think it comes from a time when Nintendo was the one game company, and they just pushed through all these fantastic soundtracks that really were just chip tunes, like four instruments or four different like separate tunes playing together, and you had to be really inventive with the use of sounds there and the use of melodies, because you couldn't really have these huge pad sounds. It was just like sine waves and triangle waves and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and I was just thinking when you started speaking about it that the chiptunes and the 8-bit music is generally not dark. And I think part of that is because, like you mentioned, is because of the tones that they generated with the music, with the computers. You didn't want to hold that tone for a very long time. It would start to grate on you after 10 seconds or so.
Yes.
So you had a lot of melodies and a lot of movement, both in the melody and the top part and even the accompaniment. And that gives you a sense of motion and active, which doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be happy, but it tends towards a happy feeling. Where if you have a darker tone that's not as bright and it's held, let's say it's a low tone, that starts to be more menacing or more sinister the longer it's held, or it tends to, as opposed to brighter or happier. So I think just how they're put together would make a big difference. And I think that'd be interesting to do, kind of combine it in an electronic song and see how you could get results that maybe not purely happy or purely dark, and see how you can affect it. And I'd never thought about doing that before. It's a really interesting point.
Yeah, a lot of the newer game soundtracks have that sort of element, and a lot of them use chip tunes in combination with like pad sounds, synth sounds, stuff like that. But I'm thinking some people are even doing chip tune songs with more than just four notes playing at any given time, and they're like they have like I don't know 20 they like these chiptune instruments playing together. I'm thinking, could you make ambient chiptune music? Is that like even a possibility? I don't know. Well, let's go to a little bit different direction here. We got a song by Jeffrey Powers here, and this one is very much acoustic piece called "What Are You Gonna Do?"
When are you going down there? When are you going down there to fight the man that took your girl? When are you going down there? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna defend your right, your life, your core? What are you gonna do? And is this worth your time? Is this worth the time? Will she come back to you with those open arms? Is this worth the time? You could be out in the world, you could be finding yourself a new girl that doesn't really cheat on you, one that doesn't lie to you. You could be happy all the time, could be on the top of the ride, it's so divine. Wouldn't it? So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? stand, clenching that hand. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
What Are You Gonna Do by Jeffrey Powers. Man and guitar.
Yeah, I like that. That was good.
Real powerful.
It was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting with there's a place or two in there where the vocals and the guitar, where he held the vocals out and then went into the guitar a little harder. And it's like, sometimes a simple demo where it's vocal and guitar can be powerful, and it can give you ideas that you can translate into bigger pieces of work too. It's like, sometimes, and I've done that, but I've not done it quite the way that worked. So it's interesting. I kind of did it in one song already where I let the guitar, I think it was the second song, where I let the guitar just kind of hang there and the drums dropped out and everything, and it didn't go to feedback, but it kind of went into almost a clipping sound, and then it went back in. And I was like, hey, that's very similar, but his was more powerful. It's like, dang it. And I had an electric guitar and a whole system sitting here, and I got the tone just right. And, I actually spent time on it, and he did it more simply and more powerfully. It's like, dang it. But that was good. I like it.
Yeah, very good. I like the fact that it sounded so good. And oftentimes you do these simple demos in the FAWM and 5090, and you try to just get an idea out there and maybe just revisit it later. And a lot of people do it they just take the demo and make a proper version of it, as you of course should do with demos. But this piece, it just with just the guitar and vocals. Of course, there are things you could layer there and make it sound more full and whatever. But it sounded really, really ready.
Yeah,
Sounded
it had a really good tonal quality to it. I know I've posted two of my first, I don't know how many songs, were just a room handheld recorder, and a room recording, and I threw it up there, and I said, okay, this idea is there. I'm not going to record it, and that never really does justice to the song. But sometimes you have to get the idea down and go. Yeah. But I can record vocals and guitar and make them sound good in here, and it's a matter of production value. So I really like the way that song sounded. That was really good.
Okay, I think we're running out of time here. Of course, we're going to be back tomorrow, Friday, and then we're going to take the weekend off and make some cool songs. But we're going to leave you off with a song by Shaq. This is called My Past Self. So, just going to leave you off with that.
Thanks much. Later.
Yeah. So, until next time, write some great songs, people.
This is something we read about in magazines, like a clown at a fair, a pet on a poster who's not where he's supposed to be, spelling it out that we're all getting older then, and thinking about what you say to yourself if you spoke to yourself at 17. I can't say that I vouch for the hours of wasted time. Forgot I was there or wanted to leave for an easy life, bending out for the things that might have been, and wondering about what you'd say to you now if you spoke to yourself at 17. It never gets easier to hold on to your goal. The boat
take it all in jest and write that in a note to my past self, along with all the things it hurt to lose, and that everything will be over too soon. Something we read about in magazines, like a clown at a fair or a pet on a poster who's not where he's supposed to be, spelling it out that we're all getting older then, and thinking about what you say to yourself if you spoke to yourself at 17. It's easier to hold on to your goal. The broken ones will soon be leaving you to go do what they're told. There's never really any meaning here, so take it all in jest and write that in a note to my past self, along with all the things it hurt to lose, and that everything will be over too soon.